Homeward bound, and Johannes now grabs the lead and sets sail for home. Johannes is the one to beat. Nobody can beat him right now, though. Coming late is Dicey Mojera, but Johannes too stylish. Johannes and Umberto Rispoli win the Eddie Reed very impressively.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Del Mar Thoroughbred Club. That's Christina Blacker. I'm Mike Joyce. That was Johannes. There's a tie-in to today's racing, kind of. More of a tie-in to Saturday's racing. But the Eddie Reed, of course, a race here at Del Mar. Umberto Rispoli, of course, a rider who loves the turf here at Del Mar. Yes. And then Johannes had a sibling enter today, but didn't drive.
Yeah, she will run today. She was entered on the also eligible towards the outside, but we'll look forward to seeing her back again on Saturday. But back to Johannes. I thought it was so impressive to see him at the 1.125 distance, and his best weapon is that turn of foot, but he also has that tactical speed where he could sit a little closer to the pace and he still had the acceleration at the end of that field that he has at a mile, which is really dynamic, and you don't get that from a lot of turf horses. So with the Breeders' Cup here this fall, I'm sure Tim Yakteen very pleased to see him just back to his winning ways, back over a course that he loves. And Umberto Rispoli tied at the top of the jockey's standings.
That's right. I mean, we've had a nice little jockeys race from day one. So this is day one of week 3 here, although the first week was only 2 days long. Excellent race. So the race that Johannes' little sister was supposed to run is our opener. We're going to take a look at a couple of races in close detail here. A field of 8, because they're running 5 furlongs on the turf course here. Maiden Special Weight Company, 2-year-old fillies. They're all first-time starters, except for one of them. I'll give you 3 guesses who I picked, and the first 2 don't count.
Yeah, you're big on those second-time starters, and I think a lot of people will be in here. Sophistry to the outside runs for Sam Walensky today. She's the daughter of Matoli. She debuted at Gulfstream Park, this against the Florida-bred Maiden Special Weight. So you don't know how tough this group was. It was on the main track, but she broke from an inside post, and she just didn't do anything wrong, right? She showed speed. She got involved. Yes, she's beaten. She finished second by 5 lengths. She was the favorite that day. But all things considered, over the main track and from the inside post, I thought it was a very credible debut. She switches to the turf course today. She's drawn well towards the outside, and I think she's going to be a force to be reckoned with. But there are a lot of horses in here that are working well coming into the day today.
So the workout reports that I read really flattered Naples Gal and then Playscape. The Jerry Hollendorfer first time around the rail Playscape will be piloted by the Hall of Famer Mike Smith, and then Kazushi Kimura, who has really made some noise here in Southern California over the last couple of winters, trying to take the entire Del Mar meet here as a resident of Southern California, as opposed to riding where his home track of Woodbine. He's on a live one here. This filly by Warfront for Richard Mandela. Richard Mandela, I always knew he could win first time out. His first time numbers are ridiculously good.
They are, and they're surprisingly good. And I think that in circumstances like this, in turf sprints, they're especially good if you filter just those races out from all of his other first-time starters. And it seems to me that he's using Kazushi Kimura more and more. He's becoming a little bit more of the regular rider that he goes to. This filly, I watched that work on July 7th. She went 47-1 from the gate. She was very quick. She was very professional. She was in company. And I think it was Kazushi on board as well. So I think he's had the chance to get to know her. I'm expecting big things from her. I would use her if I was playing a pick 5 to start the day. Playscape, I don't like the rail post. You never like the rail post for a first-time starter. But Rowayton, and this is an OXO stallion, he has only been represented by 3 first-time starters so far. All 3 of them have hit the board. He's had a winner, a second-place finisher, and a third-place finisher. The sampling is very light, but I don't think he's been supported in terms of the numbers of mares going to him. So the horses that are getting to the races are performing.
There's a first-time starter named My Perfect Way by the Triple Crown winner, American Pharaoh, for Tim Yakteen. A very steady work tab coming into the debut. What do you think?
I made her my top pick. I really like the work. She is working with older horses from what I've seen in the mornings. Tim Yakteen is one of my favorite debut trainers, working for Bob Baffert for so long. I think we forget that he has him just as ready as Bob does to lead over there. So she'll be my top selection. Loved what I saw from her in the morning. You do have the experience of the 8. And don't forget about the 4. I know this sounds a little wild. How about Pavel? 15-1 morning line. The first 2 races are terrible. There's nothing to like about those 2 races on dirt. But the sibling is 1-for-1 in a turf sprint. The dam won a turf sprint. I think you could see a dramatically different filly today on the turf course. If you have the budget for that 15-1 shot in your pick 5, I would throw her on.
Yeah, this is a doozy of a race to start the pick 5 on in the early part of the card. Let's move forward, though, and we're going to take a look at another race. And this is one of the most important races on the card because we're running 8 today. So the 4th race is in the early pick 5, the late pick 5, the early pick 4, and the pick 6.
All the things. And another turf sprint at 5 furlongs in here, non-winners of one competition. A couple of them come out of the same race, the 2 Excelia and then Just Nails the 5. I can't tell you how many times over the years I have picked Just Nails.
Yeah.
I loved her. I loved her when she broke her maiden here at Del Mar back in 2023, and that was going 5 furlongs. Maybe getting back to 5 furlongs is the secret for her today. Maybe the blinkers on, and also the return to 5 furlongs will get her back to the winner's circle. But the fact is she's 1 for 8, and she keeps running second.
Right.
She's been second in 4 of those 8 tries. I would use her defensively, but I can't make her the top pick. And I actually really think that Excelia is going to appreciate the cut back to 5 furlongs. I think you can send her away from there with Hector Barrios aboard, and I think the distance change is a huge benefit for her.
Yeah, this is an interesting race for certain. I thought you could go any number of ways. And I went through Thoroughgraph once yesterday and then once today, and I came up with 6 completely different horses, 3 on one day and 3 on the other, knowing that I had handicapped the race the day before. I think the one I kept coming back to is Gem Mine.
Same.
Because, your name's next to it. I could have just looked at that on the screen. Gem Mine for Richie Baltus, because this was a horse who has not only the numbers to win, but she's run very well fresh. And in a 5 furlong turf sprint, how hard is it to be fit enough for that? It's the easiest distance and race configuration to come off a layoff for.
Right. I love a fresh turf sprinter. I say that all the time. She's been second in both of her tries at 5 furlongs, but I like that she comes back off the break today. I like that she has the outside draw and can kind of see what happens. I'm pretty sure Just Nails will be on the lead. I'm pretty sure she'll be stalking that pace, but I think the fresh legs for her is going to go a long way this afternoon.
So the 4th race, a very important race because of where it falls. The 4th and 5th races today. If you're playing sequentials, you need to be right. Those are the races you need to be right. Another really interesting race later in the card today. We're just going to show you the odds, though. The 7th race, a mile state bred, non-winners of 2 other than allowance event for fillies and mares 3 and up. There's a morning line favorite in there of Loretta Lynn, easy for you to say, for D'Amato, Nick Alexander, and Kyle Frey. They had a fantastic performance just a couple of days ago. She's so good, and she escapes my mind now.
It was in the Grand Slam Smile race, but I'm blanking on it too.
This is why we have cell phones.
Go to Twitter, go to the Google.
No, I'm just going to go to my text with Kyle Frey because we were talking about her.
Well, I'll talk about Loretta Lynn because she was 3rd behind Grand Slam Smile when they last met in the Malaire against Calbred.
Connie Swingle.
Yes.
Sorry.
That was a good pick by Larry, too. She was off the long layoff and came back at the distance. I think Loretta Lynn is going to be a force to be reckoned with a little bit later on today. Stellar Cab might be intriguing. Only one start to her credit. I don't know who she faced at Los Al, but she was a debut winner at Los Al, which goes a long way in my books. Do note the scratch of the 7 in there, off the claim from the outside with Craig DeLassio, who's 3 for 5 at the meet, including a stakes win. So we're looking at a pretty sharp field in the first half of the late double.
So that's just a quick look at the goings-on today, this Thursday at the Del Mar Thoroughbred Club. Please join us. Christine and I will be on starting in just a little bit here. We'll take you through the first part of the car. We have Anthony Pascal coming out for a week here at the Del Mar Thoroughbred Club. He and Larry will bring you the second half of the card. Scott Hazelton is on site. We have excellent coverage. We'll have Joaquin Jaime in studio. So many great segments and different ways to look at the races.
They don't often let us work together. It's going to be a good day.
Bestie show.
Bestie.
Woo-woo! All right. Thanks for joining.